I have something to admit, okay? This is gonna sound crazy, but I am a lifetime Superman hater, alright? This guy, alright, let's talk about it. I mean, there's so many other goated superheroes, right? We got Spider-Man, Batman, The Flash, and a bunch of other people that actually have real human struggles. They're heroes that are relatable. This guy, Superman, what does he know? He's a freaking alien. And look, it's not all his fault, okay? It's just how he's been written. In every iteration, at least in the time I've been around, the Man of Steel has always been stupidly overpowered.
Bruh.
He takes down his enemies like it's nothing, he doesn't care about humanity on a street level, and overall, he's just really boring. But what if I told you guys that there was one show that figured him out, alright? One show that solves every problem I have with Superman. Well, that show exists, and it is called... My Adventures with Superman is a heavily anime-inspired Adult Swim show that started in July of 2023. Without spoiling a whole lot, the general idea is that we follow mild-mannered Clark Kent, a reporter in Metropolis who's living with his best friend Jimmy Olsen. Throughout his whole life, Clark has known that he's had some strange abilities, but he eventually starts to use them for saving people. And he also meets another reporter named Lois Lane, and they very quickly hit it off, and this becomes our main trio. And they are all so charming right off the bat. So now that we got the basic synopsis out of the way, let's break down why I love this show so much, and what it actually fixes about Superman's character. This is probably the best aspect and most important part of the show, and it's what all other Superman media seems to kind of forget. Clark Kent was raised from an infant on a farm in Kansas. Dude has no idea he's an alien from space, and they lean on that very heavily in this show. Sure, he's always felt a little weird and out of place, but at the end of the day, Clark is human, and it's so important to his character that he cares about humanity. Of course, if this dude gains superpowers, he'd want to help people. It just makes sense. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not too versed on all the characters within the Superman canon, but from what I can tell, it's been a very long time since he's just got to have buddies. Jimmy Olsen is such a great sidekick for Superman, and you can tell they have a long history together and that they greatly respect each other. I just love their friendship dynamic so much, and it's one of the best parts of the show.
James, you said you had something to share.
Oh, right. I sold Flamebird to the Daily Planet for $5.6 million. I'm super rich now.
Now talking about the other part of that trio, Lois Lane. This is hands down the best iteration of Lois Lane that I've ever seen. She's super motivated, she's a great reporter, and she's a perfect match for Clark. They just have this insane chemistry right from the start of the show that makes me root for both of them so much. And there's really not much else I can say other than, look at these two, they're so cute together. Superman's Rogues Gallery is handled, I think, really great in this show. They introduce guys very slowly, and half the time they don't give you, like, the official canon name of the villain, and they kind of just leave you to figure out who this guy is for yourself. Some people might find that annoying, but I think it's great, because you are along for the ride with Clark. He doesn't know these guys, and neither do we, till he fights them a few times. And we get to know them. We get to know their motivations and their personal beef with the whole concept of Superman in general. A lot of the characters in this show hate Superman. They hate that an alien is coming to Earth and getting involved in stuff. And that's something that really is getting pushed in Season 2. We have some characters fully pushing the public to hate Superman and say, Earth is for humans, Superman shouldn't be here.
Ever since that alien showed up, Metropolis has been a parade of freaks and destruction. Our city used to be safe. It used to be normal. I say it's time Superman went back to where he came from.
So what are you saying? Earth should just be for Earthlings?
Earth is for Earthlings.
And that's a really interesting aspect to explore of his character. You know what? I have this problem a lot when I try to talk about animation in shows, because the best way to describe how good a show's animation is to just show it. So I put this little edit together. Take a second, watch this, and tell me this show isn't gorgeous.
Starting now.
And that's really kind of all my points. I didn't want to get into too much spoiler territory because I just think this show is so good and you need to go watch it for yourself. This isn't an ad for HBO Max or whatever they want to call themselves nowadays, but it is on Adult Swim next day on Max, and I highly, highly recommend checking out this show. It's still very early on, but so far everything has been perfect. As I mentioned, the characters, the writing, the animation, it's all great. And most importantly, I care about Superman as a character, which is something I literally never thought I would say. So please, if you haven't yet, go watch My Adventures with Superman. You will not be disappointed.